experts at Ace Plumbing, your trusted local plumbers for over 30 years. At Ace Plumbing, we do it all. Clogged drains, water heater repairs, pipe replacements, and more. With decades of experience, we deliver fast, reliable, and affordable solutions for your home or business.
Ace Plumbing fixed my burst pipe in no time, and the price was great. They're the only plumbers I trust.
From small leaks to big emergencies, Ace Plumbing is just one call away. We're available 24/7 because plumbing problems don't wait. Call Ace Plumbing today at 337-565-2519 or visit us online at aceplumbinginc.com. That's 337-565-2519.
Ace Plumbing, your personal plumber. Let us give you a hand.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros will be in Kansas City tonight to face the Royals in the first game of a weekend series. Tetsuya Imai will get the start of the bump for Houston, opposite of Luinder Avila for Kansas City. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m. tonight, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Day one of the 2026 College World Series gets underway today from Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, Nebraska. In Game 1 today, Troy will face West Virginia at 1 p.m. The Mountaineers will be the home side in that one. Then following that at 6 p.m. on the other side of the bracket, Ole Miss will face North Carolina with the Tar Heels representing the home side in that one. The Carolina Hurricanes have moved out to a 3-2 lead in the Stanley Cup Finals after last night's 4-2 win over the Vegas Golden Knights. The Hurricanes now sit only one win away from their first Stanley Cup win since 2006 and their second as a franchise. Game 6 of the series will be Sunday back in Las Vegas. Day one of the 2026 World Cup has concluded and saw Mexico beat South Africa 2-0 in the opening match, and then South Korea beat Czechia 2-1 to close out the day. The action continues today in Match Day 2 as host nation Canada will take on Bosnia and Herzegovina at 2 p.m. in Toronto. Then later tonight, the United States begins their World Cup run with Paraguay at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. This will be the 11th World Cup that the U.S. has played in, which is tied for 8th overall globally. The United States is only a half-goal favorite over Paraguay, and kickoff is set for 8 p.m. tonight. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Dynamic duos are nothing new to Louisiana sports fans. Breeze and Colston, Burrow and Chase. And here in Acadiana, we have our very own dynamic duo.
You're beautiful.
It's the big, bald, bearded, and beautiful one, Raymond Parch III.
I'm sexy and I know it.
And the man with the best head of hair in sports talk radio in Louisiana and Mississippi, James Meche. Here is RP3 and Meche on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Happy Friday to you and yours, and welcome in to RP3 and Meche as we broadcast live from inside the Beal and Bear studios here in Upper Lafayette. Beal and Bear, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. I'm the big, bald, beautiful one, Raymond Parch III, better known as RP3, and I'm joined, as always, by the producer extraordinaire, the LAB award winner. You know about his trash stash. It's amazing. Soon-to-be Yogurt U champion. James, don't call me Jimmy. Don't ask me for free donuts, Meche. Good day, sir.
Happy Friday, Raymond.
Happy Friday, as our Uncle Jordy says around here. We got a tremendous show, the final one of the week for you. So what we got coming up? Of course, we have our foodie poll question of the week, which we'll get to in about 15 minutes. There'll be some discussion there. There should be some comments to get to. We're excited about it. It's a staple of snackdom here in the state of Louisiana. That's a hint of what we're going to be talking about. We got that. We also have not one, not two, hey, how about three guests for you on this Friday edition of the show. Marquez Davis, young man from Northwest High School, star wide receiver / defensive back. He has officially committed to play for LSU. He's part of their 2027 recruiting class. Got a chance to catch up with him, talk about his recruiting process, what it was like meeting Coach Corey Raymond, and his decision to sign with the Tigers. That'll be coming up at 11:30. At 12 o'clock, we're going to talk all things Saints. You know why? Because OTA's just wrapped up. Mini camps next week. Training camps next month. We're going to ask, what about this Chris Olave health situation? Is that impacting the contract? What about Alvin Kamara? He showed up at OTAs for the first time in a presidential term. What are we doing there? What's going on with Cam? We'll talk all things black and gold with Ross Jackson of the Locked On Saints podcast, also Saints beat reporter for LouisianaSports.net. That'll be coming up at noon. At 12:30, how about we talk a little Omaha? Omaha! That's right, College World Series talk. Because we got not one, not two, not three, not four, 5 teams from the mighty Southeastern Conference.
It's over half the field.
That's more than half the field in that old tournament that they're going to be having to decide the national champion. To talk all about it, of course, is Chris Gordy from the Locked On SEC podcast. So that's what we got lined up for you today. 3 great guests, a great foodie question as well. We'll also look ahead to Game 5 of the NBA Finals back in San Antonio. That'll be tomorrow night. Can the Spurs rebound from the embarrassment of historical proportions that took place inside MSG? Can they do better? Can they get a win on their home court, which they were unable to do in games 1 or 2? Or are the Knicks going to head and close things out and do the city of New York a big, large favor so the New York Police Department doesn't have to arrest 52 people as they did after Game 4? Boy, those Knicks fans, they just don't know how to act.
It's whether they win or lose. I mean, it's just anarchy over there in Gotham all the time.
All the time, man. It's just all the time with them. It's unbelievable. So we'll talk a little bit about that today as well. But let's go ahead and get things rolling on this Friday. Let's go ahead and dive into today's special.
The fellas can't help with your lunch plans, but they can serve up the top stories of the day in bite-sized pieces. Time to order up today's specials here on RP3 and Meche, presented by Southwest Volkswagen, located at 6184 Johnston Street. Order up.
This special is going to be all James Meche. All on James. My man came up with the rundown, and I just glanced at it. I didn't bother to look at it like I should have. And my man said, today's special, we're going to be talking the first round, the opening matches of the World Cup. Did the big, bald, beautiful one watch a single second of any World Cup matches yesterday? The answer is no. I did not.
Good to know, I guess.
I have Peacock. I have all the ways of watching. I had conversations with a couple of my buddies who like soccer, and they admitted that there's no juice whatsoever for this World Cup, and that my buddy in Oklahoma, shout out to Shawnee, Oklahoma, and shout out to my buddy David Dinsmore, one of my best friends. He gave me a scenario. You know, we talked about this.
Okay.
And he's big. He likes soccer. He's into soccer. Okay, so we're texting all the time, and he goes. He made some remark about all I've learned in the pre-tournament coverage is that we're in for a lot of commercials featuring David Beckham if we watch during the next couple of weeks. He's always making jokes like that.
Well, we've seen David Beckham in commercials for a little while now, but it's definitely an uptick now that we're in the World Cup.
Yes. I go, there's no buzz at all for this. There's no juice at all. This was yesterday afternoon. He goes, and he had just came back from a vacation. My buddy David, they took their family. They went to Philly, D.C., and did some baseball games along the way as well. So he was back at office. He works at a bank. He's a bank VP.
Oh, nice.
And he goes, today was my first day back at work, and I said something this morning about needing to take off early to watch the World Cup. Apparently, nobody knew that it was starting until yesterday. My immediate boss said something about it yesterday, and they did not know what he was talking about. He's the only other person at my office who realized it was about to start. And that's understandable because his son is on a soccer scholarship and playing for a semi-pro team this summer, so he's in that world.
It's the only reason.
Like, that's it. With the exception of a couple of commercials with Michelob Ultras and Messi, and for some reason they're trying to play soccer in a hotel lobby with an elevator bellboy. Is that other guy supposed to be a soccer player? I don't know. I know Messi because I've been looking at him for the better part of the last 5 years here with the big cutout behind us on the simulcast and on our stream on YouTube. By the way, thank you for watching on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe, and that way you can check out all of our stuff.
Yeah, he won't be able to do any throw-ins from out of bounds because he doesn't have a left hand.
He doesn't have a left hand. So, but, that's where we're kind of at. And I'm going to be honest. I could sit here and lie. I could sit here and look up on my laptop what happened yesterday in the World Cup, and I could sit here and try to BS my way through it. But I'm just going to be honest, like I always am. I forgot. It didn't even cross my mind yesterday. I walked with my wife because we're trying to do some healthier things. I worked on some other things here at the station.
I was going to say, well, the first one between Mexico and South Africa was actually happened in the middle of D'Lo's show. So, I mean, you were working on other stuff to begin with anyway.
Totally forgot. I totally forgot that it was going on. Had no clue. Now, is that because I'm not big into soccer? Yes, that's one. Two,
it's not appointment viewing necessarily.
Right, it's not appointment. Once again, I respect the sport. I've watched the World Cup before. I've been to a friendly back in 1997, 98.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago in St. Louis when the U.S. national team took on Paraguay. I've been there, and I watched the MLS All-Stars take on Manchester United's B team inside Reliant Stadium there in Houston. Had a story about trying to get away from a Reliant Stadium in Houston afterwards. That's probably more entertaining than the match. But so I respect it. I just had no idea, man. And yesterday was the start of it, and I was like, oh, that's bad. I realized last night that that's a bad sign that I'm not locked into this at the very start. Like sometimes you'll wane. Oh, there's so many matches to keep track of.
Like you'll start off hot, but as the days go along, you're like, and then maybe pick it up once we get into elimination stages.
World Baseball Classic locked in. The Olympics, whether it's winter or summer, I always watch that. That's big in the Parks household with the wife and the kid. So I'm usually more locked in, but like the World Cup, not locked in. I'm like, that's not good. That's not a good sign.
The man's just not into soccer by any stretch of the imagination.
Dawson, I know, is planning some special event because Team USA is going tonight. Is that true?
Yes. Funny enough how you said Paraguay back in 97, 98 in St. Louis.
I have my ticket stub somewhere. I do.
You might have to go find that. We do have the United States versus Paraguay tonight at 8 o'clock. That's when kickoff is.
Ooh, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's family time there. Okay.
How about
what channel? Give me information here.
Much like all of the games, it's going to be on between Fox, Telemundo, and Peacock.
Oh, shout out to Telemundo.
It just says Telly, so I assume that's what it meant.
Oh yeah. That's what that means. That's what it's short for. Is it like normal Fox, like broadcast over the air antenna Fox, or is it Fox Sports? Is it just Fox?
I think it's just Fox.
Well, so I can watch it with my little antenna shawls. Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, I will make a commitment.
Because it just says Fox. It doesn't say FS1.
I will make a commitment tonight to watch Team USA play. My wife is going to be thrilled, but I will make a commitment to watch some of it. She's already told me, we're not going out on Saturday nights because my wife loves basketball. So she's so locked into the NBA Finals.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're watching every minute of it. Even when the game gets a little, I says, you want me to change the channel? She's like, what are you doing? I said, oh, calm down.
I was going to say, funny enough, tonight's a tough one because you got Game 5 of the Finals tonight.
No, I thought it's tomorrow night. Saturday.
Oh, you're right. It's tomorrow night. I was about.
So that's why. That's the thing. We're cleared to watch Team USA tonight.
Yes.
Because we don't have finals to interrupt it.
Correct.
There we go.
Well, funny enough, we also have game one of the series with the Royals and the Astros, which I'll have to put more attention to since we'll have a gamer going up on ESPN SouthwestLouisiana.com.
Yeah, you will. Got to go check that out for free, by the way. No paywall. At
No
ESPN
paywall whatsoever. But yes, United States versus Paraguay, that'll be at 8 o'clock tonight.
All right. I'll watch that. Thank you. Thank you, James.
You're welcome.
Now, you watched some of this yesterday.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I had infinitely less access.
So the guy that had access didn't watch it all, and the guy that had limited access
had to watch the highlights afterwards. Looking at the first game between Mexico and South Africa, I'm not going to say I watch like every soccer game ever, but let me tell you, when I watched last night's game or yesterday's game between Mexico and South Africa, the South Africans look like a middle school team that was still in preseason mode. I'm going to be honest. I thought they genuinely looked horrible.
Sorry.
It was a miracle that Mexico didn't skunk them like 4 or 5-0. Both defensively and offensively, I thought they made some huge mistakes, especially when it got to the 7th minute. We're 7 minutes into the ball game, Kat. And they go for Mexico goes for a shot. And South Africa's goalie blocks the ball. I was like, okay, there's the save. But instead of just clearing it and sending it to midfield and basically resetting everything, he just kicks it. He kicks it on the ground instead of just punting it. He just kicks it out the box to his teammate in the middle. And if anything, kicked it to the outside, which forced him kind of out of position. And one of Mexico's players, he ends up taking advantage because he takes the ball right away from the South African defender. And then he takes the shot and sneaks it, nutmegs the goalie for South Africa right through him, and it's a goal already. So there was a huge blunder in the opening minutes of the game, or in the match, and South Africa already finds themselves down to 1-0 with some idiotic play defensively, not only by the goalie, but also, I guess you could say, by the defender. It's not necessarily his fault. It was just pretty much all on the goalie.
The man's calling people idiots. You're like Charles Barkley after Game 4 of the NBA Finals over here.
If you watch that, I was like, what are you doing? Just kick it. Kick it like most normal goalies do and just send it to midfield, Kat. I mean, it wasn't that hard. And then I watched, and it was, I'm going to butcher the names. I mean, they're not anywhere close to American. Julian Quinoa.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure, bud.
We'll call him Q because that's what his last name starts with. Q scored the goal 7 minutes into the match, but then he kind of felt a little aggressive. He was kind of feeling himself. I swear, he thought he was like the MJ of soccer, the modern-day Messi, and he was taking some pretty wild shots in the coming minutes. Like, there was some ones where it was pretty deep and he was pretty contesting. He's like, you know what? I'm about to put up my country up 2-0 in less than 15 minutes. Let me tell you, he airmailed a couple of them, but that was fine. That was fine. And Mexico goes into the half. They're up 1-0. They end up scoring another one later on in the 67th minute. This one was by Jimenez. And that one was in the 67th minute. Like I said, Mexico had plenty of opportunities to really just crush the faces of the South Africans because it should not have even been as close as 2-0. Yet here we were. I didn't really find South Africa to do anything well. I just thought it was missed opportunities more from Mexico than necessarily good defense by the South Africans. And you could tell that they were having such a poor performance. It was really getting into their head because towards the tail end, you start to see the red cards come out. There was a red card early in the game.
There was 3 of them, right?
Yeah, there was 3 total, but 2 of them came in the final 15, 16 minutes or so of the match. So the emotions started to boil over as the game went along. You could just tell the frustration was coming from both sides because both of them just definitely were not playing their best ball. We ended up seeing 3 in total, which, for reference, 3 is already a lot just in one match. But that was also the most in the opening match of a World Cup ever. And for even more perspective on it, right? We also, I believe, saw only 4 red cards total in the 2022 World Cup altogether?
That was the one in Qatar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we had four years ago, and by the end of the first match in the 2026 World Cup, we had 3. So we're off to a good start. Very aggressive, making sure that there was not too much mess from the ref's perspective. But by the end of it all, Mexico won 2-0. Now, when it comes to last night's game, that went late into the night since they had a really late start, when it became Czechia and South Korea, we saw Czechia put up the first goal, but then it was kind of more South Korea towards the tail end. Czechia also had a goal late in the ball game that you thought, oh, this is going to be the sealer for them. They're going to be able to win 2-1 themselves. But the issue was on a free kick that was just outside the box, not one, but 2 of the players, including the guy that headed the ball in for a goal, both of them were offside, so it negated the goal altogether. But then that opened up the opportunity for the South Koreans to come back, and they actually ended up scoring the goal themselves, and they actually won the first match in full time, 2-1. I thought the first goal by South Korea, that one was stellar because he gets open and has a pretty wide space between a couple of defenders, and instead of trying to run past them, even with closing space, he ends up stopping on a dime, which basically breaks not only the ankle of the Czechia defender, but also basically broke the ankle of the goalie as well. And at that point, he just kind of had a little finesse move right over them, and it was just a slow roller right into the goal. I thought that one was absolutely sick. But by the end of it all, South Koreans, they take the 2-1 ball game over Czechia, which I thought this was an infinitely better quality soccer match compared to what we had seen in the first one. But overall, Mexico takes the first match, South Korea takes the second one. For tonight's matchups, as we talked about, the United States will take on Paraguay at 8 o'clock tonight, but
on the Big Fox.
On the Big Fox, on the Big
confirmed.
Telemundo, on the Big Peacock as well.
On all the big ones, yes.
But earlier, it will be Canada versus Bosnia. Kickoff for that one will be at 2 o'clock. Same television networks as well.
Oh, there we go. So we get to see how our friends from the Great White North do on the pitch. Ooh, is that I just used a soccer term.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, I haven't told D'Lo this, but BP did such a great job on his show earlier this week, breaking down the World Cup. I'm thinking about just having BP be like our World Cup correspondent for multiple shows.
That's fair. I mean, I've definitely reached out to a lot of people, and I just haven't gotten any bites.
Our guy BP knows his stuff.
He does.
He does know his stuff. So maybe we can just have him on to talk the World Cup and get his thoughts. Huh? There we go. I'm gonna set that up. There we go. Good stuff there. I didn't watch a lick of it, but there we go. I'll watch tonight, though. I can't guarantee that I'll watch the whole thing. Is that fair? I'm just being honest.
I feel like we're doing the same thing with me with the World Baseball Classic as you with the World Cup.
It balances itself out.
It's fair. We both have our strengths and weaknesses.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's very true. Oh, man. We got to take a timeout. Good way to start off today's show. It's Friday, which means we have a foodie poll question of the week to get to. We'll unveil it and get to your comments. That's next.
Today's specials here on RP3 and Meche, presented by Southwest Volkswagen, located at 6184 Johnston Street.
Ready to upgrade your drive? Right now at Southwest Volkswagen, the stunning 2026 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport is yours with massive summer savings. Right now you can get 3.49% APR for 60 months or get a $3,500 customer bonus towards your best deal. Turn heads with its sleek, aggressive coupe-like styling, premium digital cockpit, and spacious high-tech interior. Don't wait. These offers end June 30th. Stop by Southwest Volkswagen today or visit southwestvdub.com for details.
Hello, everyone. This is Jeff Palermo. Join us on Tuesday nights for Tiger Rag Radio. Myself, Todd Horn, and Glenn Gilbo give you the latest happenings in Tiger Town and across the SEC. We talk to coaches, analysts, and those in the know when it comes to the Tigers and the Southeastern Conference. We cover all the sports: football, baseball, basketball, softball, and gymnastics. That's Tuesday nights right here on ESPN 103.7 in Lafayette and 104.1 in Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
BB's Auto Sales has been serving Acadiana since 1966. Cleanest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Need financing? No problem. BB's offers easy financing for all credit types, including in-house financing. Plus, they're paying top dollar for your trade. Voted top 3 dealership in Community Choice Awards 2 years in a row. Visit BB's Auto Sales, 2 convenient locations off Johnston Street and in Abbeville. BB'sAutoSales.com. Cleanest cars in Acadiana.
Tax season doesn't have to be stressful. Not with Black & Gold Tax Service in your corner. Conveniently located on Main Street in Broussard, we offer in-office appointments and virtual consultations. You can upload your documents to our secured portal, and we offer secure digital drop-offs. Members of the Better Business Bureau, we proudly serve South Louisiana and all 50 states with integrity, expertise, and personalized care. Visit blackandgoldtax.com and let Black & Gold Tax Service make taxes easy. Black & Gold Tax Service, where accuracy meets Acadiana pride.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certifications. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Many medicines used to treat colds and flu contain acetaminophen, a pain reliever and fever reducer found in hundreds of over-the-counter and prescription medicines. But taking too much or more than one medication containing acetaminophen per day can damage your liver. So always read the label and don't take acetaminophen if you drink 3 or more alcoholic drinks every day. To learn more, visit fda.gov/OTC pain info. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Food and Drug Administration.
Do yourself a favor and download the free ESPN Southwest Louisiana mobile app, powered by Moss Motors BMW for your Android or Apple devices. Download the app by searching ESPN 1037 Lafayette or ESPN 1041 Lake Charles. It's just that easy to take Southwest Louisiana's sports station with you wherever you go.
Ooh, it's Friday. That means what, James Meche?
That means it's time for a foodie poll question of the week.
Yeah, it is. I am disappointed in myself for not having what we're about to discuss in my lunch today. I went with a more healthy approach. Unfortunately, a sensible salad and some tuna fish is what I got packed up in the old lunch today. Started off the day with some oatmeal. And, going with a sensible lunch, trying to shed some pounds this summer. So trying to do my part. That said, the poll question of the day is a great one.
Yes.
It's a great one. Shout out to our guy Boxcar for giving us some inspiration. The original thought for him, I altered it because I went with the 3 that are the most beloved flavors and then allowed people to vote other. Okay, so the poll question of the day, Mr. Meche.
What's the best flavor of Zapp's chips? Are you going with the spicy Cajun crawtators? Are you saying voodoo? Maybe the Cajun dill gator taters? Or are you going in a different direction and saying other? Well, let me tell you, Ray, obviously we can't tell exactly the amount of votes because we're getting shortchanged. But from what we've seen when it comes to the representation itself, vast majority, and I mean overwhelming majority of the people are going with voodoo.
Makes sense. Now, my first introduction, a lot of people, I find kettle chips to be something that is interesting about people.
I actually enjoy kettle chips.
I do as well. before I had Zaps, I had Charles chips, which was my first introduction to kettle chips. Then when we moved to Louisiana when I was a kid, all of a sudden now I have kettle chips, but they got all types of flavor. Now, Zaps are amazing, period. There's not a bad flavor of Zaps potato chips. That's one. So let's go and get that out of the way. There isn't one. There's not a bad one. Not a bad flavor. 2, their originals are amazing.
The originals is really good too.
The just original, comes in the orange, I believe, is amazing. All the flavors, you get the jalapeno. The sweet onion is an underrated, like legit awesome flavor. I've rarely see them in stores. I get them in the combo boxes when we buy the boxes of the Zaps chips inside the Parch household. The sweet onion comes in the yellow coloring. Really good. For the longest time, I would fight somebody on this. I would literally fight somebody because my favorite one for the longest time from when I first got introduced to Zaps as a kid living on the West Bank in the early 90s to, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. I would fight you and tell you that the best flavor were the spicy Cajun crawl taters.
Those are very nice.
Those were, I would fight people about that. And then I would say, you know what? The Cajun Dill Gator taters are right there behind them. And I would fight people about, those were the two best. Like, you would go to parties, you would go to events, and those were the ones that people were just ripping out of the baskets and out of the place to take and leave the original Zaps behind. Like, that's what was the thing. And I lived by that and died by that until they released Voodoo. And like Voodoo for me is the spicy Cajun craw taters and the Cajun dill gator taters mixed up into one amazingness. So for me, the best flavor Zap potato chip right now, and I changed on this for years, I would fight you that it was the spicy Cajun craw taters. But it's Voodoo, and it's Voodoo by a country mile.
Yeah, I go Voodoo as well. And really, that's more often than not the one that I see the most of. Like, if I'm going to a store and I see some Zaps chips, I'll normally see the regular. I'll normally see the hot and hotter, or the hotter and hot jalapeno. And I'll see the spicy craw taters. But the flavor that I see the most of is Voodoo, and I also agree that is my favorite as well. We do see some people in the comments, like JBK the OD. He said Evil Eye, which I don't even know exactly what Evil Eye flavor is, but I'm very much down to try it. I'm also looking on Google right now and looking at images. Another one that definitely intrigues me is this Bayou Blackened Ranch.
That's the one that Ralph's talking about. Right? The Blackened Ranch.
Okay.
I haven't had that. I need to have that. And we need to find that.
I need like a variety pack.
Oh, yeah. Call Cat. You got to go get the variety pack.
I need a variety pack to try them all.
Yeah. So that Blackened Ranch, I need to get my hands on the Blackened Ranch. That sounds amazing. There's also another one that was shared in the comments. They did that limited edition one with Tabasco.
Yeah, I think you're talking about the spicy Creole tomato.
Oh.
That was also by JBK. He said it's not here anymore,
no,
but that one was
limited time thing.
Really good.
It was really good. Really good. There's not Zaps are amazing. So there's not a wrong answer here, but for me, it's Voodoo. I love all the Zaps chips flavors. They're perfectly done.
I haven't had a bad one yet.
But keep voting on our poll question of the day. Keep leaving your comments on Facebook and on X, and we will share them throughout the remainder of this Friday edition of the show. We got to take a timeout. Coming up next, how about we talk to the Northwest High School multi-sport star, Marquez Davis, and now LSU football commitment. That's next.
This is RP3 and Meche, live on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros will be in Kansas City tonight to face the Royals in the first game of a weekend series. Tetsuya Imai will get the start of the bump for Houston, opposite of Luinder Avila for Kansas City. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m. tonight, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Day one of the 2026 College World Series gets underway today from Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, Nebraska. In Game 1 today, Troy will face West Virginia at 1 p.m. The Mountaineers will be the home side in that one. Then following that at 6 p.m. on the other side of the bracket, Ole Miss will face North Carolina with the Tar Heels representing the home side in that one. The Carolina Hurricanes have moved out to a 3-2 lead in the Stanley Cup Finals after last night's 4-2 win over the Vegas Golden Knights. The Hurricanes now sit only one win away from their first Stanley Cup win since 2006 and their second as a franchise. Game 6 of the series will be Sunday back in Las Vegas. Day 1 of the 2026 World Cup has concluded and saw Mexico beat South Africa 2-0 in the opening match, and then South Korea beat Czechia 2-1 to close out the day. The action continues today in match day 2 as host nation Canada will take on Bosnia and Herzegovina at 2 p.m. in Toronto. Then later tonight, the United States begins their World Cup run with Paraguay at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. This will be the 11th World Cup that the U.S. has played in, which is tied for 8th overall globally. The United States is only a half-goal favorite over Paraguay, and kickoff is set for 8 p.m. tonight. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Attention first responders, police officers, firefighters, military and former military personnel. If you have an acre or more of grass to cut, Skag Zero-Turn Mowers would like to thank you by offering you a special discount with their Simply the Brave First Responders program. Save big money on the industry's top-rated zero-turn mower at Nolan's Lawnmower in Carencro. Nolan's can offer well-qualified buyers 0% financing for 48 months. Come by Nolan's Lawnmower at 3547 Northwest Evangeline Thruway and check out the full line of Skag Zero-Turn Lawnmowers.
Are you looking for an eye expert? Well, visit Acadiana Optics in Broussard, locally owned, founded, and operated by Broussard native Dr. Lindsay Dugas. From comprehensive eye exams for glasses and contacts to diabetic exams, pediatric eye care, emergency eye care, cataract and LASIK evaluations, Acadiana Optics provides family eye care for all vision needs. Enjoy state-of-the-art technology, designer frame selections, prescription Maui Jim sunglasses, and custom glasses and contacts. Acadiana Optics in Broussard. Call today to schedule your appointment.
Whether it's a tempting text message or a quick glance at your GPS, taking your eyes off the road for just a moment can have serious consequences. This includes turning around or reaching down. Distractive driving includes eating or putting on makeup. Distractive driving is anything that diverts your attention from driving. I'm Lorraine Luquette Vinoy with Service Chevrolet Cadillac, encouraging you to drive smart, drive safe, and keep those eyes on the road, Acadiana. This message is powered by Service Chevrolet Cadillac and this radio station, where safety meets style on the road.
Every weeknight, MeTV has your laugh therapy.
To chase away the blues or the olive drabs.
With 2 hours of MASH at 5.
This guy's ankle has tickled my funny bone.
Followed by the Andy Griffith Show at 7.
Doggone it, Otis. You're supposed to be hugging me when I'm arresting you.
But he likes you, Barney.
Weeknights on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the best local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana.
Welcome back to RP3 and Meche right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station. Acadiana has been known for a long time as a hotbed of recruiting. Some of the best players to go through our state's college football programs and even outside of the state have come through the 337. And we're about to talk to a young man who's going to be carrying on that tradition. He's 6'3", 180 pounds. He just now got elevated to being considered a 4-star recruit here in the state of Louisiana for the 2027 recruiting class, and he made his commitment to go play at DBU. That's right, for the LSU Tigers. It's our privilege to welcome to the program Marquez Davis from Northwest High School. Marquez, good day to you, brother. How are you?
Yes, sir. What's going on? I'm doing good.
Appreciate you making the time for us, man. I know you're busy and ramping up and getting prepared for the upcoming high school football season. So I just want to ask you, when you decided to go ahead and make your commitment, and obviously you've been recruited by the likes of Mississippi State, Texas Tech, West Virginia, Houston, a lot of good football programs, but then Tigers come to recruit you. They come to talk to you, and then you quickly make your commitment and do so publicly. Just walk us through that process, man. What was that like to make your announcement that you'll be going and playing college ball at LSU?
I made the announcement. As growing up, coming out of Appaloosa, Louisiana, as a kid, it's always been your dream to go to Louisiana State University. So when I was on their radar, I felt like it was a dream come true. So when they shot at me, I instantly took it.
Corey Raymond is from the area, right? He grew up in New Iberia. He went and played at LSU, and now he's known as the godfather of DBU. He knows how to recruit those players, and he knows how to develop those players. What was it like when you had your first conversation with Coach Raymond?
He was just telling me how good of a coach he is, how he put people in the league. He's just telling me all about the good stuff. And me as a person, I feel like I could go play for him on the next level. And I love the way he talks. I just love the way he do things. So, it was a dream come true that he got trust in me and offered me as a cornerback to go play on the next level for him. So, I just took that as a tip of my shoulder, and I'm just ready to go work on the next level.
Knowing Coach a little bit like I do, he likes to push his DBs, and he gives them some tough love. And I've even heard stories during the recruiting process that he'll come in there and instead of praising the player, he breaks down tape of what they could have done better, and that makes such a huge impact. Could you already tell from your first couple of encounters with Coach Raymond that he was going to be a guy that was going to push you to be the best version of yourself?
Oh, yes, sir. I always knew that. I always knew that was going to come because I see, you can just say it for yourself. Like, you putting people in the NFL. So, by putting people in the NFL, you got to work to go on the next level. So, I just want to be one of those kids to go to Louisiana State University, get coached by the best of the best, and just get ready to play on Sundays.
Marquez, your first 2 seasons with the Raiders, you were used primarily as a wide receiver. And this last year, you had your best year yet at wideout. Over 30 catches for more than 600 yards, 10 touchdowns. But you also started playing defense this past year. Got yourself 3 interceptions lining up at cornerback. You earned All-State Honorable Mention honors and first-team All-District 4-3A honors. Talk a little bit about making that transition from wide receiver to also playing DB.
I'm an athlete. So my freshman year, coach wanted me to just play receiver. So I was cool with that. I was more comfortable with playing receiver. Then sophomore year came, I started to look at the defense, but I ain't really getting no really snaps at defense. So my junior year came, we had a cornerback who got hurt, and I'm an athlete, so I took the chance to go play cornerback, and I see that's where my money go be at the next level, playing cornerback.
Did playing on offense like you did for a couple years primarily, do you think that helped develop your skills as a corner and makes you a better player at that position on defense?
Yes, sir. It makes me a way better player because offense you can't really the DB can't tell what you're gonna do on offense. But me as a receiver, I play receiver and defense, so I knew when a receiver is gonna try to give me a fake or try to do this and that. So it just made me a better player as a DB.
We're talking with Northwest High multi-sport star Marquez Davis. He joins us here on RP3 and Meche. He has committed playing for the LSU Tigers, recruited primarily by, of course, Acadiana area legend Corey Raymond, the godfather of DBU. Marquez joins us now here on the show. I want to talk a little bit about you're kind of an old-fashioned or what we call throwback player, Marquez, because you play multiple sports. You're a 1,000-point scorer on the hardwood for the Raiders basketball team. You also run the 400 meters and participate in the long jump for the track and field team. What does that do for you to be able to play multiple sports? It's an old-school way of doing things. Play football, but also play basketball and do track and field. So many guys are so specialized. Why do you enjoy doing it all?
I enjoy doing it all because, on the track, running that 400, it make you a man. You gotta be a dog to run that 400. So, track translates to all sports. Track translates to all sports. You gotta have a lot of cardio to keep running on and off the field or on and off the court. Because, basketball is a nonstop game. Football is a play between, but you still gotta have a lot of cardio. So I feel like running track and playing all three sports, it helped me for all three sports.
With your commitment to LSU, you become the first player at Northwest High School to ever do that. You will be the first player from Northwest High School to play for the Tigers when that happens next year. What does that mean to you? Kind of like the history behind your commitment from going from Northwest High School outside of Opelousas in rural St. Landry Parish, making your way to LSU.
I feel like it's a dream come true. You always got to keep God first. So I talked to God about it, and God gave me the answer. So when God gave me the answer, I took it. I took His answer, and I took it into consideration, and it just came as planned.
How much of a relief is it for you to get this recruitment out of the way? It's not going to be as a distraction. There's still going to be teams that are going to come and try to recruit you. Even though you have publicly committed to going and playing at LSU, this. They're going to keep peppering you. You're going to constantly getting text messages and phone calls and emails and everything else. But is it a kind of a weight off your shoulders, Marquez, to have your recruitment essentially done and that you've made a commitment to someone and now you can just focus in on your senior season and your senior year of high school?
Yes, sir. It's a lot of weight off my shoulders. As a young coming in as a senior for next year, it's just been a lot. I've been having basketball, then I've been doing football, then I've been going on a lot of visits. So I'm young, so just getting a lot of phone calls. It get a lot of irritating sometimes, but this is what I want. This is what I dreamed for. So I can't really be mad about the situation, but I feel like it was a good situation that happened.
And we'll get you out of here with this, man. What is it like been playing for Coach Chris Edwards? He's an old school coach. He's a tough coach, but he prides himself on developing the players that come through his program and helping them get a chance to go do things and do better for themselves. What is it like playing for him, and how excited are you about this upcoming season, your senior season in the Raiders uniform?
Playing for Coach Chris Edwards is a great experience to play for Coach Edwards. He's going to push you, but you're not just going to teach. He's not just going to coach you. He's going to coach you how to be a man, and he's going to coach you how to be a good football player and a good student athlete. So I feel great about this season coming up. We have the same team coming back, same young guys coming back. We actually have some freshmen that's going to play this year, a lot of minutes this year to help the team go to win the championship. So I feel great about the season coming. I feel like I'm gonna do my part. My team go do their part. Y'all just can't wait. I just can't wait for y'all to see us in the championship this year.
Marquez, we greatly appreciate the time, man. Congratulations on the commitment. Keep up the grind. Keep up the hard work, and we'll be in touch throughout the season.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Mr. Raymond.
Marquez Davis, 4-star cornerback out of Northwest High School. He is committed to play for the LSU Tigers and Coach Corey Raymond. We appreciate him making the time for us on this Friday edition of the show. When we come back, we'll give you an update on the Foodie Poll question of the week. That's coming up next right here on RP3 and Meche.
This is RP3 and Mesh, live on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Make sure you celebrate America's 250th birthday with Lafayette Stars and Stripes. That's going to be held on Saturday, July 4th at Park International in downtown Lafayette. There will be kids' activities, local pop-up shops, food vendors, musical performances by Sold Out, Rusty Matwire and Zydeco Crush, and DJ Digital, and fireworks at night. This is a free, I said free, family event. So make sure to mark your calendars for Lafayette Stars and Stripes, presented by Lafayette Consolidated Government, LUS, LFT Fiber, Serving Good Vibes, AVA, and Delta Media Corp.
ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at LouisianaGunShop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
Slimco members, it's better than ever. The 89th annual Slimco membership meeting, June 13th. Doors open at 6 a.m. Music starts at 6:30 with an 8 a.m. $3,000 bill credit giveaway. It's your chance to win one of 17 incredible prizes, including the grand prize. Your choice of a 2026 car, truck, SUV, or $30,000 cash, plus $40,000 in college scholarships Saturday, June 13th. The 89th annual Slimco membership meeting. Cajun Doe. Slimco is an equal opportunity employer and provider.
Looking for a spotless workplace? Variety Janitorial Services is your go-to. For office cleaning to stripping and floor waxing and carpet cleaning, your commercial space will look its best. Their reputation for perfection has grown throughout the entire Acadiana community. They deliver top-notch service with a commitment to excellence. Daily, weekly, or deep cleaning, trust the experts. Visit varietyjan.com today or call 337-298-8704 for a free quote. Variety Janitorial Services. We clean, you shine.
Misfits Dine and Drink, a destination restaurant in Broussard, is constantly evolving. Dine in for great food and a great atmosphere. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or brunch on Saturday or Sunday, stop in to enjoy a handmade gourmet pizza or one of their delicious pastas. Take a sip of their new and seasonal craft cocktails and mocktails. And don't forget dessert. Try the birthday cake bread pudding. Whether it's new menu items or old favorites, come to Misfits for a great food experience. It's classic Italian with a modern twist. Misfits Dine and Drink, 200 Heritage Parkway off Highway 90 in Broussard.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With Meche.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, broadcasting live from the Beal and Hebert studios in Upper Lafayette. Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. Back to more of Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
We're wrapping up hour number 1 of RP3 and Meche, and we'll do so by giving you an update and reading the comments on our foodie poll question of the week. Of course, on this Friday, we asked you on Facebook and on X, what's the best flavor of Zapp's chips? Of course, the options that we gave you were spicy Cajun crawtators, the voodoo chips, the Cajun dill gator taters, or was it something else? Ronnie on Facebook is going with the craw taters. Greg is going with the all good.
There we go.
Ton says Zap Brannigan is judging those who don't choose wisely.
I love any Futurama reference, by the way. It's top notch.
And then we also had Hunter, who said good with the voodoo argument, but it's always was and always will be craw taters.
The dill, look, if you love dill chips, dill potato chips, I do. That is also another one. But they got some of that dill flavoring into the voodoo, and the voodoo is amazing. What if I brought something to your attention that happened via text?
Okay.
About our foodie poll question.
What was said?
My brother-in-law, a man I respect immensely, hardworking drudge boat captain, veteran, done a great job raising his kids, doing a great job with the grandbabies. We get along famously. A pretty darn good golfer to boot. Man of the people, salt of the earth.
You're setting something up.
He just alerted me, brought this to my attention via text. He's never had Zapp's potato chips.
Whoa.
I feel like I have failed all of you out there listening, that I have failed the integrity of our poll question on Fridays, which is our foodie poll question of the week. And I have failed as a brother-in-law to Robbie. I should have done my investigation, realized that he's never had a Zapp's potato chip, and then remedied that. His life is going to be so much better
after he's had them.
Once he's been exposed to the awesome flavors of Zapp's potato chips. So now I'm letting all of you know this, the listeners. I haven't even let my wife know about this moment that I'm experiencing in real time. I'll have to let her know that her brother's never. He says never. I said, are you joking? You pulling my leg? He says, no joke. His life is going to change for the better once he experiences the amazingness that is a Zapp's potato chips. This is a man who has many accomplishments. As I said, served his country, been a great dad, great grandpa, one heck of a guy when it comes to putting on crawfish boils for the family over there in Bro Bridge. We go to his house. He has it set up. Okay?
Well, what I'm wondering is,
he's a diehard Houston Astros fan. He fussed at me earlier this week because he thought I was being too mean to the poor Stros. Okay? And he's seen all these great accomplishments. He gets rewarded from his job for doing such a great job. This is a man that's seen the Astros win the World Series. He's seen his beloved LSU Tigers win multiple national championships and Heisman trophies. This is a man that saw his New Orleans Saints win the Super Bowl for the first time ever. But I'm telling you, once he gets to experience the awesomeness that is Zapp's potato chips, it's going to be cracking into the top 10 of moments in his life.
Well, what I'm curious about with him is, has he just never come across to them, or has he been places or gatherings where there's been chips and he just decided, I don't feel like trying them, I'm going to go with what I know?
Maybe he's not a big chip guy.
It's another option.
Could be. But I'm going to fix this. Maybe not before he has to go back out into the drudge boat. But the next time he's back home, I will even buy the Zapp's potato chips and bring them to his casa, the compound where he lives at in lovely Bro Bridge, and say, let's go ahead and let's change your life. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. I got to do a better job as a brother-in-law. I failed. I got to step my game up, James Meche. Got to step my game up. Hour 1 is in the books. Hour number 2, we're going to kick it off talking all things Who Dat. Ross Jackson of Locked On Saints and LouisianaSports.net is next.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Hit the road this summer in a new Chevy from Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Right now, take $12,000 off the MSRP on a new 2026 Silverado 1500. Or take $13,000 off the MSRP with trade assistance. Take $2,500 off the MSRP on all new 2026 Chevy Trax in stock. Or take $3,000 off the MSRP with GMF down payment assistance. Plus, when you buy a new Chevy from Service Chevrolet Cadillac, it comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. Hurry to Acadiana's #1 Chevrolet dealership. Our family serving your family. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, your super Chevy dealer. 1212 Ambassador Caffrey near I-10. Stop by or log on at servicegm.com. Chevy, together let's drive. Silverado dealer discount $6,000. GM rebate $6,000. 2012 or newer trade assist $1,000. LT or RST package 5.3 V8. Trax dealer discount $2,500. GMF down payment $500. All offers plus tax, title, and license. Excludes $436 $15 notary and $23 convenience. In stock units. See dealer for details. Expires 7/7/26. Claims based on current GM data.
Black's Outdoor and Marine is Acadiana's Spartan Mower headquarters. Spartan Mowers delivering more mowing power and performance. Black's has commercial and residential Spartan mowers with Kawasaki motors in stock now and ready to cut. Black's also has parts, service, and financing available. Call 337-233-4272. That's 337-233-4272 or stop by 1423 Northwest Evangeline Thruway in Lafayette. Black's Outdoor and Marine serving Acadiana since 1968.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros will be in Kansas City tonight to face the Royals in the first game of a weekend series. Tetsuya Imai will get the start of the bump for Houston, opposite of Luinder Avila for Kansas City. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m. tonight, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Day one of the 2026 College World Series gets underway today from Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, Nebraska. In Game 1 today, Troy will face West Virginia at 1 p.m. The Mountaineers will be the home side in that one. Then following that at 6 p.m. on the other side of the bracket, Ole Miss will face North Carolina with the Tar Heels representing the home side in that one. The Carolina Hurricanes have moved out to a 3-2 lead in the Stanley Cup Finals after last night's 4-2 win over the Vegas Golden Knights. The Hurricanes now sit only one win away from their first Stanley Cup win since 2006 and their second as a franchise. Game 6 of the series will be Sunday back in Las Vegas. Day 1 of the 2026 World Cup has concluded and saw Mexico beat South Africa 2-0 in the opening match, and then South Korea beat Czechia 2-1 to close out the day. The action continues today in Match Day 2 as host nation Canada will take on Bosnia and Herzegovina at 2 p.m. in Toronto. Then later tonight, the United States begins their World Cup run with Paraguay at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. This will be the 11th World Cup that the U.S. has played in, which is tied for 8th overall globally. The United States is only a half-goal favorite over Paraguay, and kickoff is set for 8 p.m. tonight. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Dynamic duos are nothing new to Louisiana sports fans. Breeze and Colston, Burrow and Chase. And here in Acadiana, we have our very own dynamic duo.
You're beautiful.
It's the big, bald, bearded, and beautiful one, Raymond Parch III.
I'm sexy and I know it.
And the man with the best head of hair in sports talk radio in Louisiana and Mississippi, James Meche. Here is RP3 and Meche on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Hour number 2 has arrived here on RP3 and Mesh. As we broadcast live from inside the Beal and Hebert studios here in Upper Lafayette, Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. I'm the big, bald, beautiful one, Raymond Parch III, better known as RP3, and I'm joined, as always, inside our studios by the producer extraordinaire, the man with the best trash stash in sports media in the states of Louisiana, Mississippi, soon to be Yogurt U champion, James, don't call me Jimmy Meche. Hour 1 was a good one. We talked to LSU commitment and Northwest High School Raider multi-sport star Marquez Davis about his commitment to play for the Lane Train and Coach Corey Raymond. We did that in hour number 1. We also unveiled our poll question of the day about a New Orleans, Louisiana snack staple. Got a lot of reaction on that, lots of votes on that. Keep that coming. Keep leaving those comments on Facebook and on X as well. We also talked about the World Cup. James did. I talked about how he didn't watch it yesterday, but I'm going to try to dedicate some time to watch it this evening.
Good job, bud.
I'm going to try my best. Getting the wife on board when we could be watching some HGTV show. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge.
She's not a fan of soccer, right?
No. The kiddo a little bit, maybe. This will be a good chance to expose the kiddo to the World Cup. I did that the last time as much as I could because, it was in Qatar, so it was on like at 2 o'clock in the morning here, so or whatever that was. It was kind of crazy.
She was also 7 at that point?
Correct. Now she's 12 going on 32, so about to be 12 going on 32. First week of camp, man. She's going to camp next week. Very excited about that.
Oh, I could tell yesterday.
As she said to all of our listeners, I said, how excited are you about going to sleepaway camp for the week? And she's going, freedom, as if we keep her chained in a basement. That's what you would think. So there we go. Good stuff in hour 1. Coming up, we're going to talk College World Series. Will an SEC team win the national championship yet again? With our buddy Chris Gordy of the Locked On SEC podcast. But right now it's time for us to talk all things black and gold. We're going to do so with a man who covers the New Orleans Saints for LouisianaSports.net. He also talks about them as the host of the Locked On Saints podcast. All-around good guy, Mr. Ross Jackson joins us here on the show. Ross, good day to you and yours. How are you, buddy?
Hey, buddy. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here with you.
All right, before we dive into all things black and gold, we need to talk about our foodie poll question of the week, which is always our poll question of the day on a Friday. Are you prepared?
Yep, I've already voted on the poll and shared it because I think it's a very good poll.
Oh, thank you. See, let's give it up. Let's give it up. Let's give it up to Ross. All right, bud. So how did you vote when it comes to, I know you eat healthy, right? You're very much healthy. I'm trying to be more like you. I had some oatmeal this morning. I had a delightful salad and some tuna fish for lunch, and I've been walking a mile in the morning and at night. I'm trying to get more fit, bud. That's what I'm trying to do. But I know potato chips aren't necessarily in the diet all the time for Ross Jackson. But how are you going with the Zaps?
Yeah, I mean, when they are in the diet, it's voodoo all the way.
There it is.
Look, I was always a big potato chip kid, that was always my favorite snack and everything like that. And I was always a fan of the salt and vinegar chips, and the voodoo chips have a little bit of that quality to them. So while I respect the crottators and I respect the other flavors, don't get me wrong, I am a voodoo guy all the way.
Yeah, I said for years when I first got exposed to Zaps, living on the West Bank as a kid in the late 80s, early 90s, I would ride for years with the crottators. That was my favorite, and the dill pickle was my second favorite. When they unveiled the voodoo, it tasted like a combination of the two, and I was like, this is amazing. So I voted the same way. It's voodoo all the way for me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. That's always my go-to. That's the only chip I'll eat these days.
There we go. All right, bud. Let's dive in here. I don't want to start off so serious, but we need to, because what Kellen Moore told you guys down there in the Saints reporting hub earlier this week, is that they are essentially holding out Olave and not rushing him back because of how serious that blood clot issue actually was. My first question to you on this topic is, how concerned are you that we may not see him play this year?
Oh, I don't know if it's that far. I think the biggest thing is that we won't see him during OTAs and that he's just working to get cleared. When we spoke to him during the first week OTAs, he talked about how, like, he just needed, it was about a week after the procedure that he was getting back to feeling normal and all these other things. And then, beyond that, they were just kind of he was just working to get fully cleared. And so as soon as that happens, then I would expect him to be back out on the football field unless there's some major, complications around that and everything. But as of right now, I think, him back for training camp and all that is kind of the goal. Very similar in terms of what they're looking for with Jordan Tyson with his injury, coming back from the hamstring injury during his final year at Arizona State. Like, being out on the field during voluntary OTAs probably isn't necessarily a big deal for these guys. And so getting them ready for training camp, I think, is got to be the biggest thing. And so I think a lot of the caution around what you're seeing with the two of them, Christian Miller, Oscar Delp, some of the other rookies like Lorenzo Styles too, is just them making sure that these guys are ready to go for training camp and then therefore getting them ready for week one.
Why does everyone that comes to New Orleans have hamstring issues? What's that about? Is it the humidity?
Yeah, I don't know. The one thing with the hamstrings for two of them, right, for Tyson as well as Miller, is that those were injuries that they had as they arrived. But then you had the hamstring with Delp. You had a hamstring last year with Devin Neal. You had a hamstring at an earlier point with a bunch of other players. Like, that seems to be a pretty common one. And you would imagine that, like, kind of in the heat and humidity, usually, like, you stay pretty loose, once you get warmed up down here. And so it is an interesting thing. I don't know what the connected pattern there is, but we've heard from, multiple coaches over multiple years now about how, look, we're looking into it to see what we can figure out. And there never seems to be a solution. So I guess we just have to chalk it up to coincidence, which always feels a little, less than likely to say that it's just a coincidence for sure.
Do you believe that they're going to get something done here with Olave with the contract, or is this blood clot thing complicating matters?
I don't know the blood clot thing complicates matters. I think the head injuries that date back to his college days are probably more likely to have an impact than the blood clot situation. That seems to be just kind of this one-off kind of, bodies do weird things kind of thing. But take some time to, make sure that you come back from well, and make sure that you come back from not just the actual situation itself, but the long list of possible treatments that happen after that. You also have some rebounding to do from those things in some cases. And so I think that's probably a little bit more of the here and now in terms of why he's missing, in terms of why they're holding a lot of OTAs and things like that. But in terms of the contract negotiations, I think really the biggest thing comes down to how do you figure out the guarantee structure to reflect what it is that you need for the player in terms of guarding yourself as an organization, but also giving the player what it is that's going to, pay them for their contributions. And Chris Olave's got 3,000 yard, receiving seasons. He was one touchdown shy of his first, had career highs across many boards last year, and including touchdowns. He was almost a double-digit touchdown guy. And so I think, the idea of getting a contract done is something that probably is very likely, and I would say is very realistic, and may go into, the Saints tend to get these contract extensions done in like August, September. They usually don't rush to get these types of things finished. And so, Chris Olave has said that he would like to have it done before training camp just to eliminate any, conversation around it and all these other things. But, outside of that, I think it's likely that they can get it done. They just have to figure out what the right guarantee structure is to reflect sort of the injury history, but also, make it warranted for the player as well.
Let's take the approach here that this wide receiving core and pass catchers and running backs are going to be healthy, okay, for this season. Let's just play along with me here. So we have an emerging star quarterback who really shined later. You're going to have Olave. You're going to have Tyson. That's a great 1-2 punch. That means to me that we're going to see Vele more in a 50-50 ball type of situation if everyone's healthy on the field at the same time, which I think he can thrive at. And then you have Polk, who they're really high on. They were telling us how much they believed in the kid last year when he didn't play because of the injury, and now they're already talking about him again. So is that what we're going to kind of see here is Olave, Tyson, Vele, and then Polk? That's going to be your top 4 wide receivers?
I think there's some possibility there. I think Bryce Lance and Barrion Brown, the 2 other rookies, factor in as well, with Barrion Brown being probably more of a return specialist. Bryce Lance is going to have to show that he can contribute on special teams in order to be an active game day guy, but I wouldn't be surprised if those are the 6 guys that make the roster. And then I think you're going to see a heavy rotation at wide receiver. I think what helps the Saints is that they're probably going to go to more multi-tight end sets as well, 12, 13 personnel, 2, 3 tight end sets. So that's going to lessen the amount of wide receivers that are on the field. And so the rotation maybe doesn't necessarily have to be as involved as if you were a team that lived in 11 personnel or those 3 wide receiver sets. And so, I would expect to see the Saints probably with 5 or 6 wide receivers on their depth chart. By the time that week 1 gets here, remember, there will be the initial depth chart or the initial 53-man roster that'll be set, and then they'll do some more configuring before they actually get to the week 1 roster a couple of weeks later. But I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Now, I think those 3 guys, Chris Olave, Devon Vele, Jalen Polk being kind of the veteran guys, and then your 3 rookies with, of course, Jordan Tyson high up in that rotation. Would be surprised if those are the guys that are most immediately considered here as by the time that training camp gets wrapped up.
We're talking with Ross Jackson, host of the Locked On Saints podcast and LouisianaSports.net. Ross, looking more towards the defensive side of the football, we know that Cam Jordan already has an offer on the table by Mickey Loomis and the Saints. He just obviously hasn't agreed to those terms in the contract as of late because he wants a better deal. But what I do wonder is, do the Saints not only feel like they have enough talent by bringing in guys like Anthony Jennings and Tyree Wilson and having other guys like Carl Granderson, but also just the fact that because of how much of a leader Cam Jordan has been since basically 2011, do you almost feel like the leadership part in the locker room plays a factor of just trying to make sure that it's Chase Young's locker room compared to Cam Jordan maybe messing that up and messing up that type of progress?
Yeah, I don't know if that would really mess things up. I think it helps you to maybe be able to pass the baton for another year or something like that, something a little bit more ceremonious than the simple contract expiring and then now he's just not with the team at the moment. But I do think there could be something there in terms of that completing that transition over the course of another season and things like that. And then, if not, like Chase Young's ready to step into a leadership role. We've seen it already. Him being a guy that sets the tone, for his position group. He's out there celebrating with the teammates that make, plays. Like I'll give you an example. During Wednesday's practice, it was the very first rep of the last series of 7-on-7. So we're into like third team Zach Wilson led 7-on-7s at this point. And Isaiah Stalbert picks off Zach Wilson, and the first 2 guys off the sideline to go and celebrate with Isaiah Stalbert were Chase Young and Justin Reed. And it's those types of things that provide that level of leadership, that level of confidence, that level of camaraderie that I think Chase Young's already starting to kind of, endeavor upon and really soak up. And so I think that they're in a good place one way or another. It's clear that they want him back. That's why they have a contract offer out to him. I think Cam's got, kind of a trifecta of things to consider, which would be a return to New Orleans, continuing his playing days elsewhere, but then he's also got a really bright media future that maybe could start sooner rather than later. Like there's a lot of possibilities there too, I'd speculate. And so I think there's a lot for him to kind of, juggle and sort of figure out what's going to be the right path forward to him. For him. He's not a guy that really needs to arrive anywhere until training camp. Not really much of a reason for him to be in mandatory mini camps or voluntary OTAs and things like that. And so, they'll continue to kind of work things through. It sounds like those conversations have been pleasant and positive and ongoing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they ended an agreement, right? And so Saints got to be ready in terms of where they go from there. So I think the leadership piece is taken care of. I think the thing that's maybe the biggest sort of I don't want to say concern, but maybe sticking point, I guess, is, you're relying behind Chase Young on a lot of guys to do things that they've never done before. You're relying on the consistency of Carl Granderson midseason, which is something that he's been searching for. You're relying on Tyree Wilson to play up to his draft position, which wasn't necessarily what happened over with Las Vegas. But now with a new system and a new defensive coordinator and a new defensive line coach, does he take a next step here in New Orleans that wasn't available to him with the Raiders? Very possible, but you're hoping that happens, and you're waiting on an unknown. Anthony Jennings is a really strong run defender, and there's a lot of hope that being in Brandon Staley's system, it'll elevate him as a pass rusher, but you're still waiting on a little bit of unknown when it comes to that. And so I think it's just comes with newness and comes with transition, that you are banking on things to happen that are presently unknown. But if any one of those things click, then the Saints could be in a really good place going into 2026 at that position. But it's going to be that whole tone is going to be set by Chase Young, who the Saints have really high expectations, even higher expectations now going into his second year in the Brandon Staley system, third year with the team going into this year. Their expectations are pretty high in terms of what they're going to get from him.
Looking towards the secondary, there's a lot of guys that I'm very curious about how they look going into this next season, but I haven't heard a whole lot about Martin Emerson Jr. Is there any sort of update that you can give us about him?
Yeah, he had an interception the second week of OTAs during the second open media. It was he's typically with the second team. Him and Isaac Yadam are kind of splitting the outside role during second team drills, while Kool-Aid McKinstry and Quincy Riley maintained the top of that rotation. And there was a pass from Spencer Rattler to Bryce Young that was well placed, but it was just good action by Isaac Yadam to go and break it up. Ball popped up in the air. Martin Emerson was able to get up underneath it and get the interception. That's a guy that is another player that's looking for an opportunity to have a fresh start. He's very happy to be here in New Orleans, all of those things. And so we've seen him make a couple of plays already. I don't know how open the competition is at the top of that cornerback room, but when you have guys like Kool-Aid McKinstry and Quincy Riley who are ready to take their next step in their second year with Staley, you're looking at guys like Isaac Yadam as well as Martin Emerson as valuable veteran experience depth, and especially a guy like Yadam who's been with Brandon Staley a couple times now throughout his career. And so I think that's kind of what you're looking at, is how he bolsters the depth. I don't know if there's an active competition going on right now at the cornerback spot, but we'll see how that translates over the course of training camp, right? Like if somebody struggles and somebody else performs a lot better, you got to pay attention to that. You got to listen to that if you're an NFL club. So the door will continue to open there. But we've seen a couple little things from Emerson, but I think right now the big thing is about, laying the groundwork and getting a real understanding of what the system is asking of him, how to play it, what the calls are, what the communication is, the vocabulary, responsibilities, all those things. And then in training camp, then we'll see some of those things start to come to life as they begin to fully implement things on field.
Ross, we appreciate you coming on. Keep up the tremendous work you're doing covering the New Orleans Saints, and we'll get you back on soon. All right, bud?
Sounds great. Thanks so much for having me, guys. You take care, stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon.
There goes our guy, Ross Jackson of hosts Locked On Saints and for LouisianaSports.net. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, more RP3 Meche right after this. You're listening to ESPN Southwest Louisiana Sports Station.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
With storm season approaching, ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana Sports Station, and Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley bring you these hurricane safety tips. Make sure to secure your home and bring in outdoor items. Have an emergency kit stocked with water, food, and medications. Know your evacuation routes and listen to local authorities. Stay informed with a battery-powered radio. Remember, safety is in your hands. These hurricane preparedness tips are powered by Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley, your local Generac dealer. Visit midsouthpowersolutions.com.
Make sure to set your alarm and tune in Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock for Sports Shorts here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Join me, Ronnie Rance, and the Sports Shorts team of Tommy Christsand, Hunter McCann, and the crazy man, Joel Davis, as we break down the sports and teams that you love. The LSU Tigers, New Orleans Saints, and everything in between. Tune in Saturday mornings from 10 to noon for Sports Shorts here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Dry steak. That's a good thing. We'll tell you why. Up next from Piggly Wiggly. You want that steakhouse quality crust on your steak? Well, you have to dry it out first. When a steak sits in its package, moisture builds up on the surface, and you know you want your steak juicy on the inside, but that extra moisture on the outside is the enemy of the perfect sear. So before you cook, take the steak out of the package and let it air dry in the fridge. Unless you like your steaks, gray and tasteless.
For more great ideas, visit gotothepig.com.
It's dinner time made easy at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly. This week, Bar S hot dogs in the 12-ounce package, just 89 cents. Half boneless pork loins, $1.99 a pound. Boneless skinless chicken breast, $2.49 a pound. And beef shoulder steaks, $6.99 a pound. In Cecilia, Church Point, Opelousas, Rain, and Scott. Prices good through June 16th.
Ready to transform your backyard into the summer paradise you've always dreamed of? With Duplessis Builders custom gunite pool packages, we make it simple to own a stunning, long-lasting, in-ground pool built just for you. Choose from classic designs, all customizable to fit your space, style, and budget. Our pools come with quality finishes, energy-efficient equipment, beautiful lighting, and professional installation from excavation to decking, so you can dive in before the next heat wave hits. Don't just dream it, build it. Visit duplessisbuilders.net.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
One enjoys eating hot dogs and watching baseball. The other loves eating sushi and playing yogurt U-card games. Not sure exactly what that is, but good for him, I guess. Anyway, back to more RP3 and Meche.
Dun, dun. How about some breaking news? Tiger fans, you'll be happy. You ready to be happy, Tiger fans? You think they're ready, James?
They better be ready.
There you go. It's been grumbling. It's been rumbling for a few days here. Made it official. Stephen Milam, the monster, maybe the best defensive shortstop in college baseball, he has withdrawn his name for the Major League Baseball amateur draft, and he's coming back to LSU for his senior season.
It's huge.
That's big. That is a monster development, no pun intended. That's
no,
big.
you intended that.
Slightly, yes. That's huge. It just is. You're going to get, that means shortstop's taken care of. That means the kid that you got from Texas State, you can possibly move him over to third. And for non-baseball people, the ability to play short and third are very similar, which is why you see so many guys be able to play both. Is third harder? I still think hot corner is a little harder than short, but it's a similar skill set. So if you can play shortstop, you typically can play third base as well, and vice versa. So big for them. Leadership, you know what that means. So big news, big unexpected news there. So while we have a couple minutes here, and I know we were going to talk about the NBA Finals, and we'll get to that here in a minute or so. Do you give any credence, James Meche, to Giannis being a Celtic?
I don't give a lot.
I
know it keeps popping up every couple of days, so it's like it's not
them in Miami. Now, I've also seen Chicago thrown in there too. So I know Giannis wants to go somewhere where they can compete. And Milwaukee's not in a place anymore to be that, right? They've been on the decline now for a couple of years, really ever since they won the chip.
Yeah.
And they decided to make some cost-saving measures that did not work out. We feel like Giannis wants to go somewhere where he can be competitive and can try to compete for another title, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's wanting to compete for the last handful of years, and Milwaukee just has not been that.
So going to Chicago is not going to do that.
Not really.
No, not. You still have to add some pieces there. They're not ready-made. When I think of the places, there's been a lot of talk about Miami because it feels like for the fourth offseason, the Heat are trying to move off from Tyler Herro, who they just keep giving money to. I'm not for sure what's going on down there with Riles and company. So Miami's been talked about. Boston makes a lot of sense because it feels like Boston's in a mini reset here that they're going to build around Tatum. It does feel like they're going to try to move on from Jaylen Brown, and a lot of the talk has been Jaylen Brown being moved as part of this Giannis situation.
Yeah, you'd have to.
But Boston would have to give up more than Jaylen Brown to go get Giannis. Right? Unless Milwaukee's to the point now where they're just like, just give us picks.
Well, you also need to be able to send probably like a player or two to make sure that the money would work, and you still have some freedom in free agency. But at the same time, I don't know if I don't know if getting Jaylen Brown is what Milwaukee would want. If their intention is to rebuild, I don't know why getting a 29, 30-year-old star wing player would be the way to go when they're moving off of their 29-year-old superstar forward. Like it's kind of to me, it's a little too much of a lateral move for it to make the most sense. Now, there has been plenty of times where I'll look at a trade and I'm like, I just don't understand it from one side. Now, the other side obviously makes a lot of sense, but sometimes I'm like, it doesn't feel like it makes the most sense from both ways. So unless there's a different perspective of what Milwaukee's trying to go for with this Giannis trade, I just don't see how this one, how a Jaylen Brown with Giannis trade with the Celtics would be the way to go.
I think Milwaukee's to the point now where they're like the same position that the Pelicans were with Anthony Davis.
Now, to be fair, they could also...
You don't have a choice now because you didn't trade him when you probably should have. And now you know that he wants to leave. And now you're too...
Well, now you have less leverage.
Correct. The Bucks have no leverage here.
The only way you're going to get more than maybe we would anticipate at this point if it's Milwaukee is if, for example, Boston, Miami starts to get into a bidding war of like, oh, Miami sent this. Well, guess what? We'll add this to counter them. And then it'd be the same thing with Miami of being like, oh, well, Boston said that. All right, bet. I'll send this. Like, unless there's a bidding war, I just don't see how Milwaukee's going to walk out of this and feel like, man, we made out like bandits.
I want to throw, I know we're so it feels like Miami, Boston, there's always going to be talk about the Lakers. If there's a marquee player, an MVP player out on the market, they're always going to be linked to Los Angeles, right? I don't know if the Lakers have enough assets to be able to pull this off. And could you have Luka and Giannis together? Oh, that would be... I just don't know how you build a team around them. I'll give you a wild card in all of this. And I know Golden State's been mentioned as well. Can I throw one out at you?
Sure.
Houston. They have enough young players. They have picks. Pair up Giannis with KD.
Whoa.
I'm gonna throw it out there. I know they went out and got Durant.
So probably at that point you'd send like Amin Thompson.
You probably want to keep Jabari Smith Jr., but maybe you send Sengun.
I don't know the way that KD talks about Jabari Smith. I don't know if they want to do that.
Maybe.
So maybe it'd be like Amin and Jabari, or like Jabari and Reed Shepherd, or maybe it's a combination of Amin and Reed. Houston's
known
not
for swinging for the fences, and they try to do the rebuild with the young players, and it hasn't been enough.
They also tried with Jalen Green, and they immediately moved off of him, and that's how they got Kevin Durant.
Correct. So I don't know. I just think,
and I've heard before how Giannis would be open to the idea of being in Houston for sure too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely not out on the idea of him going to the Rockets.
Boston, Golden State, I don't know how committed they are to doing a rebuild.
Oh, they just need a rebuild from the ground.
The Rockets could be sneaky under the radar. They could be. We'll close out today's show with our predictions if we're going to get a Game 6 or not in the NBA Finals. We got to take a timeout. Ran a little late there. We're going to bring on Chris Gordy to talk College World Series. Will another SEC team win the whole thing? That's next.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros will be in Kansas City tonight to face the Royals in the first game of a weekend series. Tetsuya Imai will get the start of the bump for Houston, opposite of Luinder Avila for Kansas City. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m. tonight, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Day one of the 2026 College World Series gets underway today from Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, Nebraska. In Game 1 today, Troy will face West Virginia at 1 p.m. The Mountaineers will be the home side in that one. Then following that at 6 p.m. on the other side of the bracket, Ole Miss will face North Carolina with the Tar Heels representing the home side in that one. The Carolina Hurricanes have moved out to a 3-2 lead in the Stanley Cup Finals after last night's 4-2 win over the Vegas Golden Knights. The Hurricanes now sit only one win away from their first Stanley Cup win since 2006, and their second as a franchise. Game 6 of the series will be Sunday back in Las Vegas. Day 1 of the 2026 World Cup has concluded and saw Mexico beat South Africa 2-0 in the opening match, and then South Korea beat Czechia 2-1 to close out the day. The action continues today in Match Day 2 as host nation Canada will take on Bosnia and Herzegovina at 2 p.m. in Toronto. Then later tonight, the United States begins their World Cup run with Paraguay at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. This will be the 11th World Cup that the U.S. has played in, which is tied for 8th overall globally. The United States is only a half-goal favorite over Paraguay, and kickoff is set for 8 p.m. tonight. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Attention first responders, police officers, firefighters, military and former military personnel. If you have an acre or more of grass to cut, Skag Zero-Turn Mowers would like to thank you by offering you a special discount with their Simply the Brave First Responders program. Save big money on the industry's top-rated zero-turn mower at Nolan's Lawnmower in Carencro. Nolan's can offer well-qualified buyers 0% financing for 48 months. Come by Nolan's Lawnmower at 3547 Northwest Evangeline Thruway and check out the full line of Skag zero-turn lawnmowers.
And now time for the Expert Minute, brought to you by Sugarland Exterminating.
Ever wonder why bugs seem to love your home as much as you do? One big reason: moisture. Roaches, termites, and ants are drawn to damp areas. Check under sinks, around windows, and in attics for leaks or excess moisture. A little home maintenance goes a long way in keeping those pests out. Got unwanted guests? Call Sugarland Exterminating, 337-367-1414, or visit sugarlandexterminating.com for more information.
Sugarland Exterminating.
The pest-free environment we're creating. Spiders, roaches, rats, and mice. Those awful termites are not so nice. Get rid of all your pests right now. Call Sugarland Exterminating.
Termites, they're here. They're invasive. They can destroy your home if left untreated. Sugarland Exterminating has been in business for over 50 years, and they have the experience to effectively treat termites. Call 367-1414 or visit sugarlandexterminating.com.
And that has been your Expert Minute, brought to you by Sugarland Exterminating.
At Service Chevrolet Cadillac, take $2,500 off the MSRP on all new 26 Chevy Trax in stock, or take $3,000 off the MSRP with GMF down payment assistance. Plus, every new Chevy comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. At Service Chevrolet Cadillac, your Super Chevy dealer, 1212 Ambassador Caffrey. Stop by or log on at servicegm.com. Chevy, together let's drive. Dealer discount $2,500, GMF down payment $500 plus tax, title, and license. Excludes $436 stock fee, $15 notary, and $23 convenience. In stock units, see dealer for details. Expires 7/7/26.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
We pride ourselves on treating our listeners like royalty.
Excuse me.
Not actual members of the royal family, mind you, but rather individuals who wear paper crowns. Hey, it's better than nothing. Back to more of ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles.
College World Series. Omaha begins today. We got 2 games today. We'll have 2 more tomorrow, and we'll get things rolling in one of the coolest and best events in college sports. And to break it down for us is the man who talks about the Southeastern Conference, where it just means more. Christopher Gordy, host of the Locked On SEC podcast. Good day, sir.
What's up, man? Yeah, I'm more keeping an eye on the Rocco's Jello Shot Challenge right now and seeing if anybody compete with the wackos from West Virginia. It seems like they're kind of running away with this thing.
A community that burns couches and rips off their shirts are a great contender to take down the title. I'm just saying, and they've never been there before. Cat, they are locked in. Let me tell you.
Well, they may not be able to spell their names, but they can buy a Jello shot.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. All right, look, we're going to dive into this SEC-heavy College World Series, right? 5 teams. One side of the entire bracket is nothing but SEC teams. But I want to ask you this question before we get rolling, just SEC-centric. You know, I've gone back and I've studied a little bit on West Virginia. And, man, they have some pitching. Like, they have some really good pitching, and they can hit. We know what North Carolina can do as well. Of those 2 teams, and sorry, Troy, but of those 2 teams, non-SEC teams, which one you think has the best chance of winning the title?
And who did you say? North Carolina and
West Virginia? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, North Carolina is the better team, right? I mean, they won 50 games and, played a tough ACC schedule. But, there's always that weird thing of teams that get on a heater. And West Virginia, man, they were left for dead against Kentucky a couple of times, and they fought their way back, and they battled back, and they never said die. And so, getting here to a place that they don't come very often, you never know. I mean, they will be favored today against Troy. If they win this one, man, they might be feeling themselves, and we'll see. Their offense has been very impressive so far. So West Virginia can do it, but again, if you want to go with the odds, it's North Carolina.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It just feels like West Virginia, like you said, kind of feeling themselves a little bit here, and we'll see what happens. Now, of course, all of that could be thrown into a tizzy if Troy – a 30-loss Troy team out of the Sun Belt beats them in the opener of the College World Series today. So that could make things a little bit more interesting, to say the least. All right, I want to stay on that side of the bracket. North Carolina has a tough first game. I did not think Ole Miss was all that great, even when I saw them in person for an SEC series against LSU there at Swayze Field. But as the season has progressed, they have gotten obviously better. And they got to Omaha the hard way. They had to go on the road for the regionals, and they took down Nebraska to win that regional up in Lincoln. And then they take down who could be had the best pitching staff in the country in Auburn, a team we thought was going to beat Ole Miss in the Supers and get to Omaha. But the Tigers, Plainsmen/War Eagles, once again, have a postseason letdown. And Ole Miss goes in there and doesn't even need 3 games to beat Auburn to punch their ticket. How dangerous of a club is Mike Bianco's bunch?
Hey, don't make fun of that War Eagle. That impressed a lot of Europeans this week. The thing about Ole Miss is, they're not sexy. They're not impressive. This is not their best lineup they've ever had, although Judd Utermark has been a nice force for them. Willie Furness, has been known to knock a ball out of the park a time or two, but it's been their pitching. I mean, it's Kate Townsend and Hunter Elliott. And I got to see them earlier this year when they came to Houston in the Classic here in Houston. And, man, I was so impressed with their arms, particularly Kate Townsend. I mean, I want to say he was, like, pitching a no-hitter or something at the time. Like, he was lights out. And as the season has gone along, he's been more reliable than the Friday night guy in Hunter Elliott, who was supposed to be the all-SEC, all-everything. And then Taylor Rabe kind of emerged here, and it's been an important piece for them as well. So if Ole Miss is going to get it done, it's because of their pitching. It's been so impressive. I mean, go look at their run totals in recent games. It's like they win every game like 5-3 or 5-4. It's like they don't have the big crooked numbers like Georgia has offensively, but the pitching has been the force that got them here. And look, I'm rooting for them on that side. I mean, I'm going to be a homer here and root for an all-SEC championship final just because, everybody's poo-pooing on the SEC lately. So I'd love to see it. I think it'd be great, particularly for a guy like Mike Bianco who's risen from the dead like Lazarus, not once but twice now. I mean, he was literally on the hottest of hot seat, ready to be fired a couple years ago, and then he breaks through and wins it all in Omaha. Coming into this year, there are a lot of folks. Well, I don't know if Mike's going to do it again. We might need to, move on, make a change. Well, here he is back in Omaha with a chance to, try to win it all again. I think it'd be a great story.
Yeah, and I just told some of my Ole Miss friends, and I have a few, y'all should be more appreciative of Mike Bianco because he's an excellent coach. You're Ole Miss. 5 or 6 trips to the World Series. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a national title. He's won hundreds of games. It's just pump the brakes there, okay? I know
tell your Ole Miss fans to brush their teeth, too. Hygiene is important.
Man's throwing shade at West Virginia and Ole Miss, and we're not even through with this interview yet. All right, let's go to Saturday's games, Chris. I can make an argument like Ole Miss, Oklahoma even more so. I wasn't all that impressed. And yet their team that got hot at the right time and punches their ticket to Omaha as well, and they do so in great fashion. Alabama was kind of a team under the radar. You were probably more locked into them because of the Locked On SEC podcast, no pun intended there. They make it to Omaha for the first time since 1999. Jim Wells coaching the Crimson Tide feels like a lifetime ago. Give me your thoughts here on OU and Bama.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Oklahoma, a team that is getting hot at the right time. I mean, they finished the regular season. They lose 2 out of 3 against Tennessee. They lose to LSU in Omaha, and, nobody really thought they had a chance. I didn't give them a chance. And then they go in Atlanta, fall into the losers bracket, and battle out of it and, beat Georgia Tech not once but twice in Atlanta. And then they go to Lawrence, Kansas, where that place was absolutely fired up for a super regional, and they take Kansas to the woodshed. Like, it wasn't even close, either of those games. And so they seem to be peaking at the right time. The pitching's been nice. It's been cool to see they used L.J. Mercurius out of the bullpen a couple times. He got some big outs. But, man, they've been rounding into form here, and the bats are getting it done, man. Whether it's LaChance or Brock or whoever offensively, they're swinging a hot bat. And so, I look at Alabama and go, man, it's almost like they're celebrating for getting here. It's like party like it's 1999. We're just happy to be here. I wonder if you don't come ready to play tomorrow, Oklahoma's going to punch you in the mouth and put up a crooked number. And like I said, watch out for the Sooners. Skip Johnson is a really good coach. Probably one of the more underrated coaches in the SEC, and would not be shocked at all if Oklahoma upsets Bama tomorrow.
And then the final game of the first initial games is between the two teams that I believe are going to win the national championship. I could be wrong. Omaha and the win there at Charles Schwab Field can wreak havoc on plans. But Texas and Georgia, you're going to be hard-pressed to find two better teams in this bracket. Can you see a scenario where even the loser of Saturday's game between the Longhorns and the Bulldogs still finds a way to take themselves out of the losers bracket and face off again for the championship series?
Oh yeah, I mean, because it's all about how they're built. I mean, we know Georgia's strength is the offense. Texas's offense is good, but their strength is that pitching staff with Volantis and Riojas, and even Luke Harrison's been really good for them. So, yeah, I mean, whoever loses that game tomorrow night, don't count them out. Both those teams are built to make a run. Now, I'll be very curious to see how Georgia does pitching wise. If they can hold Texas in check, then look out. Georgia may just make a run and win this whole damn thing because their bats are that good. Trey Phelps, is a monster. Daniel Jackson. So, yeah, I mean, I've liked Georgia all year long. They've answered the call. They were the SEC regular season champs. They were SEC tournament champs. Wes Johnson, Coach of the Year. Daniel Jackson, SEC Player of the Year. I mean, they've just been outstanding. So, but again, Texas has got the arms to make a run. And Schlossnagel's been here. I mean, it was just 2 years ago he was on the stage playing in the finals or coaching the finals for Texas A&M, and of course switched out the maroon and white for the burnt orange. But both those teams are. I mean, yeah, if we were ranking all the teams in Omaha right now, 1 through 8, 1 and 2 are clearly Georgia and Texas.
We're talking with Chris Gordy, host of the Locked On SEC podcast. Chris, of course, we got to ask you, since it's a Friday, our foodie poll question of the week. What is your flavor of choice when it comes to Zapp's chips?
Oh, wow. Zapp's. I like what is it? I mean, you can't go wrong with any of them, but the one with like the Mardi Gras voodoo colors on them or whatever, the black bag. I like that one. The spicy craw taters, whatever that one is, the red one, that's really good. Then they have like a purple Mardi Gras one that's really good. You really can't go. Even the barbecue is pretty good. I like all Zapp's.
I haven't tried the mesquite one yet, but I'd be interested. They all seem really good. Everyone that I've tried so far has been absolutely stellar. So I agree. You can't go wrong with any of the flavors for Zapp's, really.
That's right. Voodoo is the correct answer, Chris.
Voodoo.
You get a gold star. And have a great weekend for that, buddy.
Well, and you know what they say. When you try the mesquite, once you go mesquite, you never go back. So try those today.
The man is absolutely on fire today. Buddy, we appreciate your time. Enjoy your weekend, my friend.
All right, fellas. You do the same.
We got to take a timeout. When we come back, will we have a Game 6 of the NBA Finals back in MSG? James Meche and I give our predictions. That's next.
This is RP3 and Mesh live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Whether you're needing to get yourself a new or used handgun to help protect your family, or get yourself a new rifle or shotgun for hunting season, or maybe you're just running low on ammo, the place to go, of course, is our friends at Louisiana Gun Shop, located at 2927 Highway 90 East in Broussard. They're open Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. until 6 o'clock in the evening, and because they're a local business, they pride themselves on teaming up with a local finance company to help you with a layaway program. In addition to that, they're also offering classes. That's right, a full concealed carry class on June 27th. That's Louisiana Gun Shop, located at 2927 Highway 90 East in Broussard. Go see them today.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros. Incredible! As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3 gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563.
When strength matters, go to apfabllp.com. Precision built to last, from heavy-duty aluminum structural welding using TIG, MIG, and stick to custom metal fabrication designed exactly for your project. Need safety inspections, weld analysis, or 24-hour metal repairs? Trust A&P to get the job done. For quality craftsmanship and dependable service, visit apfabllp.com. That's apfabllp.com. A&P Fabrication and Construction. Built strong, built right.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
The United States Deputy Sheriff's Association is a national nonprofit and the largest non-governmental provider of services to law enforcement. The USDSA assists city, county, state, and federal agencies with free safety equipment donations and officer survival training, along with cash donations to families of law enforcement officers who perished in the line of duty, a citizen awareness program, and more. For more information on United States Deputy Sheriff's Association, please visit usdeputy.org.
One is known far and wide for his luscious head of hair.
We just wash the hair. You know, I work on my hair a long time.
The other wishes he still had his. Back to more RP3 and Meche.
Oh, let's take a moment to thank our guest, Marquez Davis, Northwest High star football player, LSU commitment, Ross Jackson from the Locked On Saints podcast, and Chris Gordy from Locked On SEC for joining us on this Friday. Some breaking news out of Omaha. I said, and I've been saying, that if any fan base has a chance to give LSU a run for their money with the Rocco's Jello Shot Challenge, it's going to be the people that burn couches and take off their shirts for fun. That's the West Virginia Mountaineers. It's already escalated. West Virginia has already consumed 7,911 Jello shots at Rocco's, and they haven't even played a game yet. Like, they haven't even played a game yet. The challenge started, and they haven't even played a game yet. And that's, by the way, already top 10 all time. All time.
Well, considering some fan bases have only done like 500 in like the entire College World Series.
West Virginia said, we got this. Pat McAfee is going to help with this, right? So, yeah.
He has to.
Yeah. He came in and left the largest tip has ever seen. So he's going to make sure his alma mater is represented here, just like Todd Graves did. By the way, I was there inside Rocco's back in 23 when they set the new record. I was like, let's go with this. It was jam-packed. It was filled with a bunch of sweaty people. I despise that. Yet I was there. Todd Graves was 3 people in front of me when he placed the order to break the record, which was kind of cool. But West Virginia, already 7,911. hadn't even played a game yet. That's amazing. We got to take, our final timeout. It's going to last all weekend. We'll be back on the air Monday from 11 to 1. But until then, be safe out there. Be kind to one another. The Lowdown with D. The Low is next.
Hit the road this summer in a new Chevy from Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Right now, take $12,000 off the MSRP on a new 2026 Silverado 1500. Or take $13,000 off the MSRP with trade assistance. Take $2,500 off the MSRP on all new 2026 Chevy Trax in stock. Or take $3,000 off the MSRP with GMF down payment assistance. Plus, when you buy a new Chevy from Service Chevrolet Cadillac, it comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. Hurry to Acadiana's #1 Chevrolet dealership. Our family serving your family. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, your super Chevy dealer. 1212 Ambassador Caffrey near I-10. Stop by or log on at servicegm.com. Chevy, together let's drive. Silverado dealer discount $6,000. GM rebate $6,000. 2012 or newer trade assist $1,000. LT or RST package 5.3 V8. Trax dealer discount $2,500. GMF down payment $500. All offers plus tax, title, and license. Excludes $436 $15 notary and $23 convenience. In stock units. See dealer for details. Expires 7/7/26. Claims based on current GM data.
Are you looking for an eye expert? Well, visit Acadiana Optics in Broussard, locally owned, founded, and operated by Broussard native Dr. Lindsay Dugas. From comprehensive eye exams for glasses and contacts to diabetic exams, pediatric eye care, emergency eye care, cataract and LASIK evaluations, Acadiana Optics provides family eye care for all vision needs. Enjoy state-of-the-art technology, designer frame selections, prescription Maui Jim sunglasses, and custom glasses and contacts. Acadiana Optics in Broussard. Call it